Do you believe you have a vice? Have you tried to break free from it, but it seems impossible? Today, we will explore how Stoicism can be a powerful tool to overcome vices. Stay with this video, and you will learn 5 practical tips to overcome any vice and regain control of your life. According to the Stoics, true happiness comes from within and does not depend on external factors. This is especially relevant when dealing with vices, as we often seek external satisfaction in things that only imprison us. Let's see how Stoic principles can help us win this battle. Vices are harmful behavioral patterns that often take control of people's lives, leading to negative consequences for both physical and mental health. From the Stoic perspective, vices are considered distortions of reason and impediments to true freedom. The Stoics believe that true happiness comes from virtue and wisdom, and that vices are obstacles on the path to achieving this goal. They emphasize the importance of self-control, discipline, and rationality to overcome these harmful behaviors. Stoics such as Seneca, Epictetus, and Marcus Aurelius teach that the mind is the key to overcoming vices. They emphasize the importance of self-control and personal discipline. According to these philosophers, a vice is not just a bad habit, but a moral failing that must be corrected through reason and the constant practice of virtue. True freedom is the freedom of the mind, which is not enslaved by uncontrolled passions or desires. They argue that a life of vices is a life of slavery, where the individual is constantly at the mercy of impulses and emotions. Stoic freedom, therefore, is achieved through self-mastery and conformity with rational nature. Temperance, or moderation, is one of the 4 cardinal virtues of Stoicism. It teaches us to find a healthy balance in all areas of life, avoiding excesses and deficiencies. Applied to vices, temperance encourages us to develop solid self-control, helping us resist temptations and cultivate healthier habits. Vices are distortions of virtues. For example, intemperance is a distortion of temperance, and greed is a distortion of justice. Therefore, overcoming a vice involves cultivating the corresponding virtue. This requires a continuous effort to replace bad habits with good ones, a process the Stoics call training the soul. One of the main Stoic concepts applied in the fight against vices is the principle of apatheia, which means being free from disturbing passions. This does not imply a lack of emotions, but rather the ability not to be controlled by them. Stoicism teaches that we must identify and challenge the irrational thoughts that fuel our vices and replace them with rational and constructive thoughts. The Stoics also spoke about the importance of prohairesis, or the capacity to choose. They believe that true freedom lies in our ability to make conscious and deliberate choices rather than being dragged by automatic impulses. By strengthening this capacity for choice, we can resist vices and act according to our higher values. The daily practice of reflection and meditation is fundamental in Stoicism to combat vices. The Stoics recommend the practice of daily self-assessment, where the individual reviews their actions and thoughts to identify faults and plan improvements. This practice helps keep the mind focused on virtue and resist vicious impulses. To break free from vices, it is advisable to practice self-discipline regularly. This can be done through resistance exercises, where the ability to say no to small desires and temptations in daily life is tested. Over time, this practice strengthens willpower and makes it easier to resist deeper vices. The influence of the environment and company is also crucial in combating vices. The Stoics advise avoiding people and situations that may fuel vicious behaviors. Instead, they recommend surrounding yourself with virtuous individuals who can serve as examples and encouragement for practicing virtue. Community and social support are important in Stoic philosophy. Sharing goals and challenges with people with similar values can provide the motivation and encouragement needed to overcome vices. Ancient Stoics participated in philosophical schools where they found mutual support, something that can be replicated today through support groups and social networks. The practice of journaling is a tool recommended by the Stoics to reflect on one's behaviors and progress. Recording thoughts, emotions, and daily actions can help identify patterns and vice triggers, as well as provide an opportunity to celebrate small victories and adjustments along the way. A Stoic approach to vices involves accepting human limitations and understanding that perfection is unattainable. The Stoics teach that it is normal to fail and that what matters is to keep trying to improve. Self-compassion and forgiveness are important parts of this process, avoiding despair and giving up. From a scientific point of view, vices have a neurobiological basis. They originate from the interaction between genetic predispositions and environmental exposures. Dopamine, a neurotransmitter in the brain, plays a crucial role. When a person engages in pleasurable activities such as eating, socializing, or using drugs, dopamine is released in the nucleus accumbens, an area of the brain associated with pleasure. Over time, repeated substance use or addictive behaviors can alter brain chemistry, leading to a compulsive need to repeat the experience. The difficulty of breaking free from a vice is closely linked to these brain changes. The brain develops tolerance, requiring increasingly larger amounts of the substance or behavior to achieve the same pleasurable effect. Additionally, memory and environmental associations, e.g., places, people, and objects related to the vice, can trigger strong cravings. This is known as Pavlovian conditioning. These changes make the fight against vice a significant challenge, as the person must not only overcome physical cravings, but also deal with psychological triggers. Epictetus, one of the great Stoic philosophers, emphasizes the importance of focusing on what is within our control. He teaches that by concentrating on our own actions and attitudes, we can gradually free ourselves from vices. The Stoics believe that willpower and determination are fundamental to overcoming harmful habits. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, talks about the importance of living according to reason and nature. He suggests that a virtuous and vice-free life is one in harmony with the true human essence. For him, the goal is to live authentically, without being influenced by superficial and fleeting desires. Finally, Seneca highlights that philosophy is an essential guide in the journey to overcome vices. He believes that philosophical wisdom offers the necessary tools to face and overcome internal challenges. Through the study and practice of philosophy, we can develop the resilience and moral strength needed to defeat vices. 5 Stoic tips to break free from vices. 1. Daily self-assessment practice. Set aside time every day to reflect on your actions and thoughts. Identify patterns of addictive behavior and plan how to replace them with virtuous habits. Self-assessment helps keep the mind focused on self-control and continuous improvement. 2. Cultivation of the corresponding virtue. Replace vices with the virtues they distort. If you struggle with intemperance, for example, actively work to develop temperance. Practicing the corresponding virtue weakens the vice and strengthens your moral character. 3. Avoid bad influences. Distance yourself from people and situations that encourage addictive behaviors. Surround yourself with virtuous individuals who can serve as examples and offer support. A positive and inspiring environment facilitates the practice of virtue and overcoming vices. 4. Focus on internal control. Concentrate on what is within your control, your actions and attitudes. By redirecting your attention to what you can change, you reduce the influence of addictive impulses. Willpower and self-discipline are key in this process. 5. Study of Stoic philosophy. Dedicate yourself to the study and practice of Stoic philosophy. The teachings of Seneca, Epictetus, and Marcus Aurelius offer valuable guidance for facing vices. Philosophy provides the necessary tools to develop resilience and moral strength, helping maintain focus on the pursuit of virtue. Finally, it is important to recognize that recovery from vice is an ongoing process, and relapses may occur. However, relapses should not be seen as failures, but as opportunities to learn and strengthen the recovery strategy. Maintaining a positive attitude, seeking help when necessary, and continuing to work on coping skills are crucial for lasting recovery. Science shows that, with the right approach, it is possible to overcome vice and lead a healthy and fulfilling life. If you enjoyed this video and found the content valuable, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Join our community of Stoic thinkers and embark on a journey of self-improvement and wisdom. Your support helps us create more insightful content.